A warm greetings for the day. This is Chethan Kumar from Workneev, and I welcome all of you to this video on ratios and variations. If you have not watched the videos that I posted on this channel, I will give you the links of all those videos in the description. Please give it a watch once you finish watching this. And in today's video, we will be talking about 5 problems from the chapter of ratios and variations. Generally, when students take up aptitude test, and if the question is from the concept of ratios and variation, then they will always take the value of x, that means they will take a variable which is unknown, and then they start solving the problem. But in today's video, I'll be solving all the problems without actually touching the value of x. Without wasting much time, we will quickly deep dive into the concept of ratios and variations. Like I always say, pause the video for some time once after you get the questions and answer choices, and then try to solve the problem on your own. You can then resume the video for explanatory solution. Question number 1 is over here. Answer choices are also available. Great. I hope that everyone has solved this problem already and you are ready with your answer. Let us check what is the right answer to this problem. Answer to this question is 76. Like I promised already, I will show you how to solve this problem without touching the value of x. Okay, now how to solve this problem systematically? Let us look into that. You'll have to start with this ratio because this is the ratio of number of boys and girls in the classroom. Meaning of this is, for every 4 boys in the class, there will be 3 girls. This is the number of boys and this is the number of girls. And as per our assumption, we have only 7 students in the class right now. Just an assumption. But in reality, they said that 1554 students are there. Which means your assumption is wrong and reality is certain number of times more than the assumption. Now you need to tell me quickly how many times of your assumption is your reality. That means by multiplying which element you can convert this 7 into 1554. To find out that, you just need to do a simple thing. Divide this 1554 by 7. That will give you the answer. So that will give me 7 2s are 14, 1 comes here, 7 2s are 14 again, 1 comes here, and 7 2s are 14. This tells me that if I multiply my assumption with 222, I'll get the reality. Or in other words, I can also say this as your reality is 222 times of your assumption. Right. Now, these two are in ratio and by adding these two I got 7 and that assumption is multiplied by 222 to get the reality. In that case, these two individual entities will also be 222 times of them. So number of boys in total will be 222 times of 4, which is 888. This is the number of boys, and then 222 into 3, which is 666, that will be the number of girls. And if you are able to do this one, then I would say 30% of your task is done. Now what is next? After few days, 30 girls joined the school and some boys left the school. Girls are 666, now 30 more joined them. Now their total count will become 696. And some boys left the school, but I don't know how many boys left. As a result, ratio becomes 7:6. They are saying like after 30 girls have joined the school, then the ratio becomes 7:6. So boy is to girl ratio now becomes 7:6. And the same way you have to carry out your calculation. And now you tell me assumption is 6, reality is 696. How will you convert your assumption into reality? By multiplying what number you can convert 6 into 696. It is 6 ones are 6, again 6 ones are 6, and then 6 6 are 36. Done. By multiplying with 116, you can convert your assumption into reality now. If the right hand side is multiplied by 116, then the left hand side should also be multiplied by the same element. What is 116 into 7? If you are not a person who is fond of multiplication, you can split the term and then do the multiplication. How? 100 into 7, 700. 10 into 7, 70. 6 into 7, 42. So your final answer is 812. I got to know that total number of boys in the class right now is 812, and how many were there earlier? 888. Now the question is, find the number of boys who left the school. If you take the difference between these two, that itself is the answer. What is the difference between these two? Again, don't subtract. You can complete the number by looking at the lesser value. 812, right? Make it to 820. How much is needed? 8 is needed. From 820 till 880, the distance is 60. And finally, 880 to 888, the distance is 8. And if you add all of this, I'll get 76. See, you can also use your subtraction method, your conventional subtraction method. But I will always use this completion of the numbers strategy to do the subtraction problem. So answer to the first question is 76. I firmly believe that everyone has understood question number 1, and nowhere in the explanation part I have touched the value of x. Great, I believe that everyone has understood the explanation of this problem. We'll move on to the next problem. Question number 2 is over here. And this is one of the highly important types of problem from the chapter of ratios. Minimum one question you will get from this type. Okay, we'll go on with the explanation part right now. A bag contains rupee 1, 20 paisa and 50 paisa coins in the ratio 16:20:21, amounting to 244. Find the number of coins of each type respectively. Now they're saying that a bag contains 1 rupee coin, okay, and then you have 20 paisa coins and then 50 paisa coins. These are the three denominations you have, and they are in the ratio 16:20:21. Now your duty is to find out the number of coins of each type. One way to answer this question is just by checking the option whether they are in the ratio 16:20:21. You are so lucky if there is only one answer choice which is in this ratio. But right now I think all the answer choices are in the same ratio. I'm not sure about it, but you are lucky if only one answer choice is there in the ratio. But I literally don't know how you are going to solve the same problem with the option if all the options are in the same ratio. In that case, you should definitely know the strategy how to solve this problem, right? And that strategy is over here. In the first step, you need to find out the rupees ratio. Okay, you need to find out the rupees ratio. That means if all these coins are put together, then what is the ratio of the amount that they contribute? If there are 16 1 rupee coins are there, what is the amount it contributes? It contributes 16 rupees. And why did I take 1600? Because I'm taking them in paisa. Okay. Now, there are 20 paisa coins. That means the total amount contributed by them will be 400 paisa. And then 21 50 paisa coins are there. So the amount contributed by them will be 1050. Just by multiplying them together and taking them in the paisa value. And now many of you might be thinking, I have written rupees ratio here, but I have taken paisa. There is a reason why I have taken this. See, if I take 16 here, then 20 into 20 will be 400 and 50 into 21 will be 1050. Here I'll have to convert somehow this value into a decimal value, which makes our calculation difficult. For that simplification purpose, I have taken everything in terms of paisa now. So there will be 1600 paisa contributed by 1 rupee coin, 400 paisa contributed by 20 paisa coins, and 1050 paisa contributed by 50 paisa coins. You can simplify this one, right, by eliminating all the zeros. So I'll cancel out the zeros throughout. Then you have 160, 40 and 105. Definitely this is gonna get cancelled with the table of 5. This will become 32. This will become 8. And this will become 21. Now, the moment when the paisa ratio is simplified, right, it will automatically be converted into rupees ratio. Now, many of you might be having a confusion. Your explanation is here. If the ratio of paisa is 100 is to 300 is to 400, okay, then if you simplify throughout, you will get 1 is to 3 is to 4. That is nothing but ratio in terms of rupee. If I just simplify the paisa ratio, I will definitely get the rupees ratio, and that's what happened here. The moment when I cancelled this by the same number, it will automatically be turning into rupees ratio. Now this means there will be 32 rupees contributed by 1 rupee coins, 8 rupees contributed by 20 paisa coins, and 21 rupees contributed by 50 paisa coins. Great. Now the total amount here in this case will become 40 plus 21, which is 61 rupees. 61 rupees. Total amount will be 61, but in reality they said total is 244. Now if you observe, your assumption is wrong and your reality is certain number of times more than this assumption. How many times it is? 61 into what will give you 244 is the question. Undoubtedly it is 61 into 4, which tells us that your assumption is wrong and your reality is 4 times of your assumption. In that case, this 32 is also not correct. It is 32 multiplied by 4. 8 is not correct. It is 8 multiplied by 4. 21 is not correct. It is multiplied by 4. Then the total amount contributed by each denomination will become 1 rupee coin. The total amount contributed is 32 into 4, which is 128. And then the total amount contributed by 20 paisa coin will be 8 into 4, which is 32. And lastly, total amount contributed by 50 paisa coins will be 84 rupees. Now this gives me the total amount contributed by all the denominations, but the question is how many coins of each type, right? Now if there are 128 rupees contributed by 1 rupee coin, then how many coins will be there? 128. So you don't have to look at the remaining answer choices because there is only one answer choice which is starting with 128. But still, if you are curious, you can go with the next part as well, which is 32 rupees. In 1 rupee, there will be 5 20 paisa coins. So in 32 rupees, how many coins will be there? 32 into 5. That will give me 160. Similarly, in 1 rupee, there are 2 50 paisa coins, right? So in 84 rupees, how many coins will be there? 84 into 2, which is 168. So I hope everyone has understood question number 2. We will move on to question number 3 straight away. And question number 3 is available to all of you over here. Bit lengthy, but it's a beautiful question. Alright, we'll check how to solve this particular problem, but before that, the answer to this question is 528. Now, let me write something for you. In a cool drink shop, the ratio of Taza, Coca-Cola and Sirinda is 1:57:3. The initial ratio is given. I'll take T for Taza, P for Coca-Cola and S for Sirinda, TPS. So TPS ratio is given 1:57:3. Done. And then read the next part. It is given in the question that for every 15 Coca-Cola purchased, right, the person gets 1 Sirinda as a reward. And if he goes on purchasing and then gets 11 Sirindas like this, then the shopkeeper will give him one more reward, that is 1 Taza free. And in the question it is given that person has already got 12 Taza free, which means I'll convert this 1 into 12. How will I do that? Multiply this number by 12. Now person has got 12 Taza. If I multiply this number by 12, Sirinda should also be multiplied by 12, right? Because these two are related somehow. And you know how they are related because you have read the question. Now, in order to get 12 Taza, definitely person has already got 11 into 12 number of Sirindas, right? And then I'll simplify this and write as 132, okay? So, person has already got 132 Sirindas, and then after this is done, there is no Sirinda left in the shop. You know that, right? So, there were only 132 Sirindas in the shop. Now, in order to get 1 Sirinda, person has to buy how many Coca-Colas? 15. Now, if he has got 132 Sirinda, then how many Coca-Colas were purchased? Multiplied by the same number, 132 into 15, which gives me a value like this. 132 into 10 will give me 1320, and 132 into 5 will be half of this, right, which is 660. That gives me 1980. So that means if a person gets 132 Sirinda, then definitely he has already purchased 1980 Coca-Colas. Now, the next part of the calculation goes like this. If you see Coca-Cola and Sirinda ratio initially, it was something like 19:1. Simplify this with the table of 3, you will get 19:1. This was the initial ratio. And you already know that the total number of Sirinda was 132, right? So now you tell me, if 1 is identical to 132, this is reality and this is your assumption. To convert your assumption into reality, multiply it with 132, right? Then, in order to find the total number of Coca-Cola, you again have to multiply this number with the same element, 132. What is 132 into 19? I don't know. I'll do 132 into 20 first. 132 into 10, you already know it is 1320. Then 132 into 20 is double of this, which is 2640. And now I'll subtract 132 from this. That will give me 132 into 19. I'll get the answer as 2, 5, 0 and 8. 2, 5 and 0, 8. This means there were total 2508 Coca-Colas in the shop, and how many Coca-Colas are sold? 1980, and the difference between these two should be considered. That is the number of Coca-Cola left in the shop. What is the difference? Again, don't subtract. You can complete the number by considering the minimum value. 1980, convert this into 2000, you will get 20 extra, and from 2000 to 2508, 508 extra is there. So total number of Coca-Cola left in the shop is 528. So I hope that this question is clear to all of you. We will move on to the next problem straight away, and the question is over here. Answer choices are also available. We'll move on to the explanation part right now. I will write it like this. 40 liter diesel is required to travel 400 kilometer using a 600 cc engine. And if the volume of the diesel required to cover a distance varies directly as the capacity of the engine. That means if the capacity of the engine increases, then volume of the diesel required to cover certain distance will also increase. Now initial part is clear. Data tells that 40 liters of fuel is needed to travel 400 kilometers using a 600 cc engine. Now my question is, for the same 600 cc engine to cover 600 kilometer, how much fuel is needed? Simple. The capacity of the engine is same. Now the distance is increasing, then the fuel will also increase, right? 400 became 600, then 40 will become 60. That's it. This is a simple calculation. See, for the same engine to cover 600 kilometer, 60 liter of fuel is needed. Now the question is, if the engine is 900 cc, if the engine is 900 cc and to cover 600 kilometer, how much fuel is needed? You can find it out with the help of this observation. See, the engine capacity has increased. If the engine capacity increases, then volume of the diesel required to cover a distance will also increase, right? Because it is directly proportional. So the distance is constant, and if this increases, this should also increase. And you can just observe like this. See, 600 is 1.5 times in this case, or 50% of the 600, or 50% increment happened in the engine capacity. Then the fuel required will also be increasing by 50%. What is 50% increment in 60? 50% of 60 will become 30, or you can directly do like this, 1.5 times of 60, which is 90 liter. I hope that the question is clear to all of you. The right answer to this problem is 90 liter. Great. And the last problem of this video is over here. Read the question and then come up with the answer. Amazing. I hope that everyone has got the answer. Let us check how to solve this problem. The first thing given in the question is that the distance to which a boy can throw a stone is inversely proportional to its weight in kg, and the distance is given in centimeter. He breaks the stone into 3 pieces whose weights are in the ratio 4:5:7. See, the ratio of their weight is given as 4:5:7, and it is given that the distance travelled by the stone is inversely proportional to its weight, right? So the distance travelled by them will be in the ratio 1/4:1/5:1/7. These are the immediate 2 things I can write soon after I read the question. And now the question is, the sum of the distance these stones covered was 249 centimeter. Then to what distance the boy can throw the unbroken stone? If the stone is not broken, how far the stone might travel is the question. To find out that, you can start your calculation from here, because actual distance is given and you need to find out what is the distance in this case. But how to proceed from this point onwards? This ratio is not friendly. Convert them into a friendly value. How? Directly by taking the LCM of the denominator. I will make a video on how to take the LCM easily, but time being I will take the LCM directly, like 4, 5 and 7. 5 and 7 are already prime numbers, so their LCM will be 7 into 5, which is 35, and 35 multiplied by 4 will give me 140. So 140 is the LCM, and now you multiply all the elements with 140 and that will give you the new ratio of distance travelled. What is 140 divided by 4, or 1/4 into 40? How much is the value? 4 into what will give you 140 is the question. See, 4 into 30 is 120 and extra 20 is there, which means 5. This will give me a 35, and then the second value will be 28 and the third value will be 20, which means 4 kg stone will travel 35 centimeter. 5 kg stone will travel 28 centimeter. And 7 kg stone will travel 20 centimeter. And now if I add the distance traveled by all the 3 stones, I will get 35 plus 20, 55. 55 plus 20, 75, plus 8 will be 83 centimeters. Total distance traveled is 83 centimeter, but in reality it is 249 centimeter. So I know that my assumption is wrong and reality is 3 times of my assumption value, which tells me that the first stone will travel 105 centimeter, second stone will travel 28 into 3, which is 84 centimeter, and the third stone will travel 20 into 3, which is 60 centimeter. Now these are the real values. 105 centimeter will be traveled by 4 kg stone, 84 centimeter will be covered by 5 kg stone, and 60 centimeter will be traveled by 7 kg stone. Now the question is, to what distance he can throw the unbroken stone? Unbroken means 4 kg plus 5 kg plus 7 kg. The total is 16 kg. So 16 kg stone can travel how far? How will you do this? Like this. If a 4 kg stone can travel 105 centimeter, 16 kg can travel how far? And you know that this is not directly proportional, it is inversely proportional. The more the weight, lesser the distance traveled. So 4 kg stone, 105 centimeter, 16 kg, how much? So this is inversely proportional. So multiply these two terms first. You will get 105 into 4 divided by 16. That's the answer. 4 ones are 4 fours are 105 divided by 4. If you don't know how to do this, you can do like this. 100 divided by 4 will give me 25. And 5 divided by 4 will give me 1.25. That is 26.25. So that's the answer to this question, option C. So I hope that today's session was useful. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I have not taken any X value for the calculation part. I firmly believe that all of you have liked this particular video, and in order to get the similar kind of videos, you should definitely subscribe to my channel and also hit that bell icon over there. Thank you so much for your time, and I would like to meet you people in the next video with a fresh new concept. Until then, it's bye bye from Chethan Kumar. Have a wonderful day ahead.